Right, well here we are, sports fans, it's part 2 of the video. I hope you enjoyed my little coffee intro. Anyway, there you are. Now, if you remember from the last video, and I'll snip it a little bit in now, we can back in time so you can see where we left off and some of the things. Well, have a look and then come back. Right, sports fans, well, I've done a little bit more work on the bike, as you can see now. My fig tree, have a look, it's only growing figs. Right, as you can probably hear, it's raining, and that's why we're in a polytunnel. Now, the bike, as you can see, it's no longer a gravel type bike, and that's because basically you can't get gravel tyres in there. 28s, and it's the limit. Now, obviously I can get 28 gravel tyres, but I ain't got none. I'm not buying none. It was supposed to be a parts bin build, and this was built from parts out of that shed. And my great van, well, we're going to have some wine. Well, other than one singular rear brake cable, which I did have, but for reasons I cut the wrong bloody end off, I had to go buy. Everything else was out of my shed. The wheels have changed, as you can see. Now, if you remember from the last video, I did a bodge, and I'll clip it back in. Might not be able to, I could have deleted that. Anyway, if I can, I will, I'll clip it back in. You see that little bit there? I took that out, and I put a washer in there, put it back on. Anyway, it's done the fucking job, so. Well, I bodged a rear wheel. It didn't work out. It won't work. It was terrible. Anyway, other things that have changed, I've flipped the stem round because it was hurting my back. I've actually stuck with the seat. It hurts, but I like it. Yeah, and it's a road bike now. It's a road bike, not a gravel bike. And what else? What else? Well, used chain, used cassette, and you would imagine that this bike would ride terribly, but it doesn't. And in the next part of the video, even if it's raining, we're going to go out. In the next part of the video, well, I'm going to ride it, review it, and then I'm gonna do some sweeping dramatic shots, give you a good look around the bike, and I might do some photography, clip that in here, there, and everywhere. So there's the bike. I'm gonna go make some more coffee because that's all I really do around here. And next time you see me, you'll be strapped onto the chesty, full strap-on style, and that seat there will be up in me, probably, with it being so small. Anyway, here we go. Right, sports fans, well, there's been a break in the weather, so here you are, on board like I promised. So what my plan is I'm going to clip in some music, we'll ride about for a bit, and then I'll pull up and I'll talk you through what it actually is that we're riding. So, without further ado, tunes. around. I'm at a local skate park and it's raining, so there's no moshers, what we used to call them, moshers. Anyways, the bike. There it is there, look. Now, let's go through what is actually on this bike and, well, it's a bike check. Let's do a bona fide bike check, in depth. Well, let's start with a wheel set. There they are. Now, they're match ones. And I'm running up front, Continental Gator Skin, 28. Round the rear, matching wheel, another Continental. But, so there you are, 4 seasons jobby. That's what's round the back. I say matching wheel. Anyway, group set, here we go. We've got the Shimano 105 shifters and lever combination. I don't know what they call them. Sora, and Sora, all from different eras. Stella Talia. She ain't cushy. Cinelli stem with some cheap aluminium bars. There's no make on them. The cassette, oh, for fuck's sake, someone's ringing me. I'm not supposed to be swearing. 1 minute, let me just get this. Right, before I was rudely interrupted, where was we? Right, the seat post. Have a look. Easy. Don't quite fit, so that's bodged. I ain't got one that fits, and it's wet. I ain't changing it. It's staying like that. Anyway, what else? Well, the frame set now. Apparently, it's a DAWES. Now, there's no stickers on it, and there's no markings, but apparently that's what it is. 1 minute. Hay fever. Whew. But it is. It's kind of nice. Semi-lugged, if that's a thing. Have a look. Down there, look, we've got some lugs. But here, none. And I quite like this little detail here. Anyway, that's it. What it is a 56, which is a couple of centimetres shorter than what I want, but it fits, so I don't really care. And how does it ride? Well, let me strap you back to the old chesty, and I'll talk at you for a bit while I ride over there. There we go. Right, let's get going. So, well, how does it ride? Well, considering every single part was chucked in a box in my shed or ripped off another bike that didn't really work, listen, she's silent. The gears change perfectly, the wheels are lovely, the brakes are bang on. I'm very surprised. I expected it to be a rattling shed that I'd have thrown in the back of the shed, never rode again. Ignore that banging noise, I don't know what that was. She's a belter. I've got a few other vintage road bikes and, well, I'm in love with this one. It's all I'm riding at the minute. So I think what I'm going to do is bang some tunes in, put some sweeping shots into the bike, and we'll probably call this one a day. I'm going to do some photography and all of it, so I'll clip that in here, there and everywhere. This guy doesn't know where he's going. So I've got to ride to the town centre now, nipping errands. So if you want some tunes, they'll start around about now. 3, 2, 1, bangers, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Cheers, thanks a lot.